What's your name?
Well, my name is Rachel Isabel Trent.
And where are you from?
I'm from two countries. I was born in England and I moved to Trinidad when I was 5. My mom is Trini and my dad is English, so I'm half Trini, half British.
How long have you been in Korea?
I've been in Korea since April 2016, so just over 5.5. No, just over 5 years. 5 years, maybe 4 months.
Okay. What brought you to Korea?
The Lord brought me to Korea. I came to Korea as a missionary English, taking some time out when I had surgery, and I had asked God, what would he have me do? And he sent me an email from a Chinese recruiter, and I was like, oh, this is an interesting time. I can actually travel, because I had taken time off of, working because of surgery. And I prayed about this Chinese recruiter, whether I should go and teach Chinese as a foreign language.
English.
English as a foreign language. no, Chinese. And then God brought South Korea into my mind and reminded me of some friends of mine who had come to Korea to be missionaries, and I prayed about that, and God gave me the answer to come. So I came for 1 year.
Okay. What are some of the pros of being an SDA in Korea?
Some of the pros of being an SDA in Korea. Well, for me, coming to Korea and leaving my church family back home, it meant I had to study for myself initially. I hadn't found a group to spend time with, to do Bible studies with, and also as a missionary teacher, you're giving, like you're teaching a lot of like religion classes. So even though it sounds like a negative, the pro was I was forced to find time with the Lord, and then there were times when I was just isolated, like I didn't know many people in the beginning. So that was a pro. It's probably not the kind of answer that you're looking for. But in regards to nature, coming to Korea was the first time actually on a Sabbath I would go out after lunch into nature, to spend time with God. I never did that before. Would you believe that? So that was a definite, and that is a definite pro. And I'm going to carry that on when I leave Korea.
Is a con or some of the cons of being Seventh-day Adventist in Korea? Okay,
so I think for Koreans and for foreigners, or just for myself as a foreigner?
Whatever you view.
Okay, I think for Koreans, one of the cons of being SDA is that, they don't have a lot of, in my opinion, religious liberty with regards to, requesting Sabbaths off when they are working, or a lot of their exams are on Sabbath, and I'm not sure how much protests happen with regards to that, what type of protest happens, but I just know this, a lot of people write exams on Sabbath and may work on Sabbath and may compromise on that, and I think that's a definite con, but I can't speak for all Koreans, just some that I noticed. As a foreigner, I have seen where if you don't have a strong support network as a foreigner and being Seventh-day Adventist, you can kind of compromise on things, me, when I came to church, Spirit of Prophecy spoke about, things that are not good for the body, like drinking caffeine, coffee, and I met a lot of, other, not many, I don't want to blanket everyone, but some who didn't drink and started drinking here. That's just an example of compromise.
Drinking coffee, right?
Drinking coffee,
caffeine.
Not alcohol.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. And what else? I think that's it really. Like, I've seen a lot of compromise on Ellen G. White, her standards, but I don't think it's everywhere. Like some of the churches I've been to, cooking on Sabbath, and I was told that years before that never happened. People going to restaurants on Sabbath, buying and selling, like not honoring God on Sabbath, people may wonder, why is that a problem? Because God says we shouldn't work on Sabbath, and we shouldn't also allow others to work on Sabbath, and buying and selling and that sort of thing. So I've seen those kinds of things and the temptations to fit in. And you also compromise. So I've always had to just be like, God, help me to honor you, and not offend others. But if I have to offend others in the process of honoring you, I'll have to do that, but I try not to. So yeah, my advice for Seventh-day Adventists coming to Korea is for everyone to ask God, what would he have them do for him in this country? How can they be used? How can you be used as a vessel for him? Because people have various reasons for coming to Korea. It could be they like different parts of the culture, the language, music. But as Seventh-day Adventist Christians, God has a special plan for us, that he wants us, to share the three angels' messages, and we can do it no matter our personalities, whether you're a really outgoing person or more introverted. If we ask God, show me how I can be used, he will use you. And if you're willing, he will use you. And ultimately, our priority and our the whole purpose of our lives is to bring honor to God and share the good news of Christ. So if you don't have that desire, ask God for it and he will give it to you. He's helped me like that too.
Okay, thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome.
But your tears gonna hit the floor, 'cause my shoulder won't be there for you no more. Won't be there for you